So Bitcoin is barely holding up. The stock market has hit below the 200-day moving average once again. Altcoins are getting hit in, if you don't know, a 25% tariff announcement for imported cars just shook the market with more fear and uncertainty. So what happens next? Now, on top of that, I do have some pretty big news for you for Bitcoin, for crypto, and you want to stick around to find out about what's going on in the market. Now, each and every week, I bring you news and market insights for Bitcoin and crypto. If you're new to the channel, if you've not yet subscribed, make sure that you do below. As you can see here, there's some palm trees behind me. I've been traveling, so even when I'm traveling, I make sure to update you on news and updates and insights on the market. So go ahead and make sure to subscribe. If you have not, if you're new to the channel, welcome, and we'll go ahead and get started on what's going on with Bitcoin and crypto. Of course, 25% tariff announcement on imported cars. Now, that not only affected crypto, but certainly it impacted the stock market, right? So whether you're driving an Audi, a BMW, a Mercedes, or a Porsche, but just understand that there is a potential 25% tariff on those imported cars that, again, has brought uncertainty into the market, which of course impacts crypto as well. So with that said, there's some shakeup going on there. We did see the stock market initially bounce and then has since pulled back, in Bitcoin is following that as always. Now, why is Bitcoin following the stock market? Because the big news for other assets include gold, which has just hit an all-time high today. Yes, gold hit an all-time high while Bitcoin is pulling back with the stock market. And that is because, as I've talked about on the channel, the Pearson Bitcoin correlation that shows the correlation between the stock market and Bitcoin is near 0.9, which, of course, if you don't know about this, 1.0 on the correlation scale is an exact correlation with the stock market, which follows 1-to-1. So this is really close right now. Bitcoin is highly correlated with the stock market. So anytime you see uncertainty in the market with stocks and it pulling back, Bitcoin is going to pull back as well. So just understand that's what's going on with Bitcoin. That's why it's not pumping like gold right now. So understand that gold is an all-time high. It is still seen as a hedge asset whenever the stock market goes down for risk. And so Bitcoin, unfortunately, is not quite there yet, but we hope that long-term digital gold will happen with Bitcoin. Now, positive news, even though Bitcoin's pulling back, even though stocks are pulling back, even though there's a tariff and uncertainty and fear in the market, we have seen some big news and good news that has come out. And one of those things is the Bitcoin ETF inflows, which remains positive for a fourth straight day after having negative outflows for the ETFs. And this is showing real institutional demand, and that is a positive thing. Now, unfortunately, we can't say the same for the ETH ETF, which again has seen negative outflows continuously, and that's okay because the market is not quite ready for altcoins yet. And so I've said that over and over again. If you're into altcoins, it's just not the time, and I'll go ahead and talk to you about that here in the coming week, what might cause an altcoin rally in the coming months, but currently we're not there yet. So now, other positive news, Solana. Now, speaking of altcoins, Fidelity just filed the first US Solana spot ETF application with the CBOE. This is the first major US institution to do this for Solana, and it's a big sign that Sol is stepping into the institutional arena, right? So if you're looking for an altcoin that could gain serious traction, not Ethereum, Solana is one of those things that I've talked about, which is a big bet going into the future. Now, a couple of other things as far as big news that I want you to know about is that GameStop is getting into Bitcoin. Yeah, because they just announced a plan to raise $1.3 billion to buy Bitcoin, $1.3 billion. And they're pulling a MicroStrategy type of move like Michael Saylor. They want to use Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. And this comes right after the Q4 earnings pump. So this is a company that went from a meme stock and is now making a legitimate play into crypto. So that's huge news as far as the Bitcoin playbook is spreading, and we're here for it, right? So that's huge news for Bitcoin in the crypto market. Now, as far as the other news, finally, Robinhood just launched a private banking service. Yes, Robinhood, the app where you can actually buy Bitcoin and crypto that is super retail friendly, is now opening up private banking services. So this means things like tax advice, estate planning, pro-level investing support, the kind of stuff that usually is reserved for high net worth clients, right? That is now going to be offered to retail investors, people who who sign up to Robinhood and to use their services. So now imagine if Robinhood merges that with crypto, banking, investing, crypto, Bitcoin access in one app, and that's pretty powerful. So that's huge overall news as far as crypto goes right now with banking services plus crypto assets. We do know that GameStop is super retail friendly. So for them to release that news, that just is just more eyes on Bitcoin overall from retail investors, as well as the institutional investors that we see with the ETFs. We see institutions starting to get more and more into crypto, into Bitcoin with the inflows, the positive inflows of the ETFs. We see retail getting more and more into Bitcoin with potentially with the Robinhood banking services, with GameStop spreading the news as far as buying Bitcoin as a treasury asset. This is massive. Even though there's fear and uncertainty in the market with the tariffs, 25% tariffs with imported cars, we do know that doesn't directly impact Bitcoin. Short term it does, but long term we know that coin is here to stay. And as far as that goes, it's just following the stock market right now, which is of course pulling back with some fear and uncertainties. Overall, things are looking pretty good long to mid term. Short term, yes, there's fear, there's uncertainty, but Bitcoin ETF, inflows, Solana institutional attention, GameStop stacking Bitcoin, Robinhood building an ecosystem. And so what I'm watching here in the coming week as we close the week in stocks, but Bitcoin and crypto go into the weekend, can stocks close and reclaim the 200-day moving average? If they can do, that's a big deal. I think Bitcoin continues to follow that up. Can Bitcoin decouple and lead again? That would be fantastic news. But again, I don't think that we're quite there yet for the fact that the correlation is so high. And so with more institutions and TradeFi getting into Bitcoin, we're seeing that correlation push up. But I do think that eventually we will see that decoupling again, with Bitcoin leading, with Bitcoin going up in value when the stock market just goes sideways or down. But that's probably potentially weeks to months away until we see that. As far as Bitcoin, we want to continue to see it hold, of course, above 76K. I do think that at the current price level, if we can get back above 92 to 93K, that would be a positive place to continue to stack for Bitcoin. Hey, with that said, I'll be home soon from traveling. We'll give more updates. We'll give more charts that I can't necessarily show at the moment. Of course, with me talking to you face to face is a little bit different of a video. But bullish signals ahead. Things are stacking up. Things look good. We'll take a look at the charts here in the coming days. And if you've not yet subscribed, make sure that you do so below. Click the white button and go ahead and join the community each and every week. All right, guys, with that said, I hope you have a great rest of your day as I'm traveling here. I'll get back with you soon. Make sure you guys trade safe and have a great day. Thanks.